Welcome back to episode 54. This is the part 4 of our Pure Web Server that we're building. And as the past few in here, we covered the majority of this kind of stuff up here at the very beginning. And the important part of the stuff we're going to talk about is actually on down here. We talked about our filter, and we had some of our helpers here, fail, pure, and then. And we talked about on the last one being able to do multiple routes. But a common thing that we'll want to do is to be able to filter routes based upon some sort of a path. And so that's what we're going to look into today, and it's actually quite simple. So we have a function called path, which takes a path, which is some sort of a string, and then we get our request object. And we know that from that, what we need to return is actually a function which takes this and then we'll return some sort of a result, a future of an either of a future, actually. So what we can do is we can say if the request that came in, if the path for that, because this is really just proxied through Express. So we have a path property, which is a string, and we can say if that equals whatever this p is, then we can return pure. And what pure does, and then we can pass that request into pure. And so what pure does, pure is going to just wrap whatever that is, whatever we have, into an either of a future of the thing, which then works with our type that we defined, which is an either of a future of something. And so then that actually works from a filter standpoint. So what we can do then is we can change our app, our routing app. We can have our application, and then it's still using the choose that we saw from yesterday. And what we're going to do is if the path is bar, then we'll return hello bar. If the path is foo, we'll return hello foo. And so let's see how that works. So if we hit our endpoint, it's going to look like it fails. But what actually happens is that this is a 404. We didn't provide a path in our choose. We didn't provide a path for slash, if you will. Since we didn't provide that, our web server automatically knew it had to return a 404, and we can see that in our application loader. Because when we went through the web part that we returned did not, it returned an either left. And as we looked at from yesterday, with the choose, what happened is, choose takes a list of web parts, and it went through all of the list and didn't find one that matched because this path that we passed in filtered everything else out. So if we go back over here now and we do a slash foo, then we get hello foo, and if we do a slash bar, then we get hello bar. And of course if we do anything else, then we're going to get a 404 again. So that's one way to do that. I believe to continue moving forward with this, what we'll have to do is we'll have to deal with composing these filters a little bit better, and maybe that's what we'll look into in the next one. Hope you enjoyed it. It's a short one today because really we're just kind of reusing a bunch of stuff that we've already used. Pure and then fail, and just a recap, fail is going to return an either left, which basically means that it's not going to match. So when we go through and do this choose, it would skip over that if it were in that array. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Episode 54 of Pure Web Server Part 4.